Move out the lane, you know the city in it. I bet Detroit still standing when all the innings finished. We connect like when you swinging for the fences with it. They know as soon as we hit it, that's out of the city limits. Meet us in the infield, Motor City, this home of the big wheels. Knock down, but we're still. If it's in the past, then it's in the rear view. We full of drive, focus on the windshield. Yeah, it's a game, but we don't play with them at all. You ain't out the park with it, you just bases to the wall. This the type of connection and knock the laces out the ball. That's why when they play in Detroit, then they play in us all. You see the fitted, the D specifically the English in it. Swing quick, the fastball should come with speeding tickets. All we know is shift to drive and we go. City connected like the cursive in the Tigers logo. Detroit, put in work, I never let them see you sweat. The city up, we got now, we got next. They ain't believe we expected nothing less. I bet the talk stops soon as we connect.
Let me tell you what it mean to be a Tiger.
The grind, the sweat, the passion of a fighter.
The love, the fans,
The screams, the hands.
the old English D,
It represent the brand.
an unbreakable bond.
100 years strong.
Knock it out the park, Val.
Now we playing ball.
Guaranteed home run, hit it out of sight.
We all Tigers in the game and we earning our
Hey, let's
stripes.
talk about the hustle, the grind.
What up, dope people? We appreciate you guys for choosing to kick off your day with Wake Up Woodward. We got the whole entire starting five in the building today. We got Mr. Flannel Sam. What up, though, bro?
What up?
What up, though?
Hey, unfortunately, it hasn't been very fun to be a Tigers fan lately, but it's all well and good. We can all
man.
talk about
Yeah.
you.
We
Come on, Flannel.
I know
Happy moment there.
we tried,
It looks
but,
like
but alas,
I
then
love-
we had to watch the team.
we had to watch the team. Hey, it looks like we got on our Motor City blue.
Yes,
that kind of blue and black, right?
You don't have any orange.
Right, just like the Motor City Connects jerseys or the City Connects jerseys. Yeah, I guess I did do this accidentally because they kind of have a black and blue color scheme as well.
Let's rock. You guys already know the Elite Sound booth and TD booth tandem. I'm starting the sound booth, man. We got Detroit's #1 draft pick, Mr. KG. Also, Rookie of the Year. What up, though, bro?
What up, though, man? The Tigers doing so bad, I had to throw a Boston jersey on today, man. That's
Hey, show the people who that is, though, real quick.
crazy. Ted Williams, man. I don't know if
Let's
y'all can see
rock.
the back.
Let's go.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, that's what's
there
up.
we go.
The legend, man.
Let's rock.
I thought that was Jameson Williams for a hot minute, and I was like, wait, he's only had one pro jersey.
Let's rock.
Number
Let's
9.
rock. I love Broder. In a Titty Booth on a Tuesday, it is Boomer Sports' MVP, Mr. JBSMOOOOOV.
Breast.
Yo. Breasts. Good morning, fellas.
What up, though? And you guys already know it's your boy, Mr. Matthew Broder. What up, though, man?
Hi, guys.
Our Lions and Tigers
Yeah.
reporter.
Can I shout out someone real quick? Rando Smalls, Mr.
Always.
Randy Smalley. Yesterday was 6 years since second cancer surgery. All clean. Pleased with Mother's Day for those who have them. Make it count for those who don't. I can't see the rest of it. I don't know if you guys can, but shout out to you, Randy. That sounds like a battle you've been fighting. Props to you, man.
Yeah, shout out.
Yeah,
shout out.
Man. Hey, anytime we want to be able to put on for the chat family, we could just do that because
Definitely.
you guys are the most important part of this show. Thank you guys for your support of the Woo Crew. Go ahead and smash that like button, and once you've done so, encourage somebody else to do the same. Mr. Matthew Broder, you want to tell people what we are talking about today?
I would love to. We're going to start off. We're going to talk about the Tigers. We got some more to talk, especially with Sam here. I want to talk about is this the beginning of a bad skid? Like, is this what we should be expecting out of this team? What's to make of these last 4 games? What are they doing? We're going to be talking about Dan Campbell, where he ranks in the NFL as a head coach. We're going to be talking about Jared Goff. I mean, who's the best quarterback in the NFC North? Is it Jared Goff, or is it what some of our friendly colleagues have said is Jordan Love, or Caleb Williams, or J.J. McCarthy, whatever you want to choose. We'll see. We're going to break that down. Then we're going to talk a little bit about Isaiah Williams, the wide receiver out of Illinois, who was signed as an undrafted free agent for the Lions. Then we're going to wrap things up today with a Triple Threat Tuesday from Mr. KG.
Let's go. Man, I love the segments. And we also have another mailbag presented by Feldman Automotive Group. I need you guys to get your mailbag questions in at the end of the week. We are going to try and take the best mailbag questions, put them together, get them out there on socials, make sure that the chat family is credited as well. Yesterday was awesome, so thank you guys for tapping in. But let's get around the city. The Detroit Tigers, they take another L. That is now 4 losses in a row after winning 4 series in a row. They lose 2-1 to the Cleveland Guardians to move to 18-17. Another pitching gem from Jack Flaherty, but another wasted opportunity by the Detroit Tigers offense again.
Yeah, unfortunately, this was the third game in the last 4 in which the Tigers got excellent starting pitching. It's the second game in a row in which Jack Flaherty has given the Tigers excellent starting pitching and had nothing to show for it in the win column. It's unfortunate when Riley Green, he hits a leadoff home run, an absolute bomb, and you're basically told as Jack Flaherty, there's your run for the day. Now go pitch a shutout. Obviously, that's unrealistic to expect that out of any pitcher when you get that little of run support, and it just seems like it's been a trend lately. The offensive woes are now really starting to haunt and cost the Tigers, especially given the fact that their bullpen is a little bit more shaky moving forward. I don't know. It's been really discouraging these last 4 days. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and it's something that we were wondering, is the pitching strong enough to carry the anemic offense? And right now, against the better teams in the league, we're starting to see that it might not get it done. And where it's concerning is if it happens against the Guardians in this series, because we want to see the Tigers go out there and compete very, very well in the AL Central. It'd be interesting to see what they do in these last couple games against the Guardians, see if they can finish up kind of this test, I'll call it, between the Yankees and the Guardians, at least 2-4 as they head into some marshmallow type competition.
I mean, I hope so. They certainly need to get it together for these next couple of games because, and I know we might talk about it a little bit more later, but the Tigers are in a little bit of danger if they get swept by Cleveland. I'll just say that. Take a look at the standings.
It's too bad. The Royals, the Guardians, and the Twins, they all won last night. So the Tigers are now 5 games back from the Guardians in first place. Like, they're going on this 4-game skid, and how many runs they scored? They've only given up 14 runs in the last 4 games, but they've only scored 7.
Yeah,
it's not a formula for a consistent a team that can win consistently. I mean, to have literally the first pitch, you get your first run, and that's all you do for the rest of the day. It's difficult. It's tough. There's only so much that pitching staff can do. Even Joey Wentz came in absolutely dealing. Yeah. But these are the games you got to figure out a way to win. I know it's just the first game of the series with the Guardians, but because you got swept in New York, you have to find a way to scrap together 2 wins so you don't get too far behind in the standings in the AL Central. It's a shame, but they're making moves. I don't know if you guys saw Parker Meadows got optioned down to AAA after the game, or officially before the game today. They're bringing up Ryan Vilade, who's only had 6 at-bats in the major leagues, but he's had a pretty good career in the minors, hitting 288 in his career across the minors. And he's had a really good season so far, 78 at-bats, 333 average. So I hope just Parker Meadows goes down, figures out his stroke, his swing, and he can come back and contribute more on offense.
Hey, shout out to Phil. He said Broder can hit better than Torque. But listen, I got a question to ask you as a pitcher. Can you tell me how difficult is it to know, especially as a relief pitcher, that the starting pitcher has done so well, but the bats just aren't there? What type of pressure is added, if any, when you step out there as a relief pitcher knowing there's no runs, the bats are cold, and you're going up against a lineup that could dice you up?
Yeah, it's a weird type of pressure because as a bullpen pitcher, as a reliever, you're expecting to go into a close game, into a high-leverage situation, and just have to either get out of a jam or preserve the lead, hold the lead. But when you're coming in and knowing, and it goes for the starting pitchers too, for the sake of this conversation, when you know you can't make more than 1-2 mistakes, that's tough. Especially as a starting pitcher. You know you're not going to pitch perfectly throughout the entirety of a game, but when you give up a mistake, like Jack Flaherty, a solo home run shouldn't be the death of you. It shouldn't be the reason you lose the team, but he gave it up to the new Tigers killer, the new Jim Thome or Nelson Cruz, Jose Ramirez, and that was the deciding factor. So they're now knowing going into games they have to be perfect, and although that's what every pitcher strives for as you're preparing for a game, as soon as things go a little bit wrong, you start getting intense, and you have to get out of that first inning, which Flaherty didn't in this scenario.
Well, and that's the thing when you're Jack Flaherty, because I put zero blame for last night's game on him, and I'm sure none of you guys either.
Yeah.
When you give up a solo home run in the 6th inning, which is the second run you've given up of the game, that's still a quality start. And so the offense needs to be better. And I just want to respond to something really quick from Chuck Brewer, because he says the bullpen isn't shaky. The bullpen has come back to earth. The offense has been the problem this whole year. And yes, I might have misspoke a little bit. I meant to say shaky-er. You're right. Guys early on in the season were kind of pitching out of their minds. Jason Foley looked like the best closer in the MLB. He's still a really good closer, but even he blew a game. Shelby Miller is probably the most glaring example of somebody who's come way down to earth. Still a friend of the show, but he's not good right now. I did. If you want to say that I jinxed him, fine.
We did.
Because I waxed poetic about him, and he's been pretty awful since. And like I said, we've seen struggles this year from even like a Will Vest and a Tyler Holton, for example. So it is one of those situations right now. I'm sure as a starting pitching staff, they feel like they have to be perfect. If you want to go back to Reese Olson's game where he pitched 5 innings of shutout ball, he's 0-4 this season with a 2.70 ERA.
Ooh.
You saw Tarek Skubal carve up the Yankees. I know he gave up a couple of runs, but he looked like a Cy Young pitcher. But none of these last 4 games, in which 3 out of the 4 starting pitchers have been pretty much excellent, have really resulted in anything, because they've been all wasted by this offense, which is giving you 7 runs in 4 games.
Goodness.
But I will say this. At some point, there need to be consequences for your play. And the fact that Parker Meadows is being sent down, it has to be done. His batting average starts with a 0.
Mm-hmm.
It actually starts with a 0, 0.96.
After the first decimal point. Goodness gracious.
After the first decimal point, yes.
It has to be done. Listen, Ryan R in the comments just put gross uniforms. Never ever put those in a real game. I assume that he's talking about the Detroit Tigers Motor City,
the City Connect.
The City Connect.
Yeah, with Motor City across the
Motor
front.
City jerseys. That's what I'm assuming he's talking about.
Yeah.
Before we get out of our around the city and get into a little bit more Tigers talk, I got to get you guys quick reactions on these new jerseys. Brother, you know what?
Brother, should we start with you?
They're not horrible. I don't think they're any good. Like, I don't get why there's no orange in it. I understand what they're trying to do with the tire tread and the racing stripe down the middle. Actually, the only thing I like is the Woodward patch on the side. Shout out to Woodward Sports. That's obviously what they were going for. No, but I don't know. I don't like black pants. I don't, or black or blue pants. They're not my favorite. I need an old English D, and I need some orange.
Mid made it saying exactly what I was feeling as soon as we saw them. He said they recycled the old Pistons jersey, the old Motor City jersey with the tire treads that went up the front stripe and everything. I don't know, man. I'm just flannel, man. How are you feeling about this thing?
You know what? As I've gotten some time to think about it, I will give the most on-brand take, that you could possibly imagine. Do away with City Connects altogether. Yeah. When you're the Detroit Tigers and you have such an iconic uniform and the iconic English D, and I get it, it's more glaring because there are some City Connects that are actually pretty cool, but when it's our team, when it's the Tigers, and you see just how much worse, in my opinion, the City Connects are versus their actual jerseys, which are amazing, just do away with them. We don't need them.
I struggle to figure out, how do you have a City Connect jersey in any way, shape, or form as the Tigers and you don't have the classic? I get it. They're trying to do some different things, but bro, there are people from all over this world who connect this to the city.
Yeah.
This emblem, one of the best logos in all of sports, period. But I get it. They're trying to do some different things.
But you don't mess with that.
You can't.
You don't mess with the winged wheel. You don't mess with the old English D. And you don't even put the stupid patches on the jerseys, too. I hate seeing it. Not just the priority patch, but the Meyer patch. The who'd the Guardians have? Or do they have Meyer? I don't.
No.
I know what you mean, though.
Just keep the jerseys clean. The owners make enough money. Just keep the jerseys clean.
It's just dog, man. I'm looking at some of these chats. I can't even read some of these. KG, what's good, man?
Yeah, like I said yesterday, man, I don't think they're that bad. If I had to rate them, they're like a 7 out of 10 to me. But I feel everybody on there's got to be some kind of orange in there. I personally would have did like orange outlined on the font. And get rid of that hat. The hat is garbage, man. The hat looks like the Detroit sign. I don't understand. You got to put the old English D on there, man. And even with the Woodward sign patch, it has a 1 on it, but it's actually 313. But they got the 2 3s grayed out, so you can't really see it. But they're okay. I don't think they're the worst things I ever seen, but they do look like batting practice jerseys. So
You know what?
They remind Anakin Skywalker of jeans. I love that. like, it's true. It's true.
JB, what up, though, before we get to the next segment?
I mean, I feel the same way as KG. Like, I don't mind them. They're a 7. You know, they're okay. But I think these city connects and all together, they need to be unique for every different team. Like, I know you want to incorporate the city as well, too. But at the same time, make them unique for each additional
It's
team.
like a creator uniform. That
Yeah,
they just
it's just
switch
like
the color scheme.
it's just like another creator uniform. I do believe that you can there is like an alternate of, instead of having the blue on there is an orange, but it's still the same design. I just think it needs to be unique to every different team. Like Broder said, you don't mess with the wing wheel. With the Tigers, you always have to put that old English D on there.
Somewhere on there, yes.
Somewhere on it. It just has to be. It has to represent somehow, some way. But I mean, they aren't terrible, but yeah, these are like batting practice type of jerseys. I'm sorry.
Let's get a poll in the chat, man, just to get people's grades, A, B, C, D, on these jerseys. I just want to feel what they're feeling. Ryan R says, now I know what my wife feels like when I leave the D out.
Oh,
my God.
That marriage must be going swell.
You done scorched the earth.
Already, bro. Already on one.
Freddie Felt says softball beer league jerseys and a gas station hat. That is so facts. And I see a lot of comparisons to the Detroit sign. Like, it's the Detroit sign of jerseys.
I'm telling you.
Just a complete letdown. I guess that goes with the D comment.
Jesus.
What's a letdown?
Good
You're expecting
morning,
a lot?
people, man. You know what? And I saw somebody say, yo, what's going to happen? I forget who put the comment in there, so I am sorry. But they said, first, the Red Wings went down after the priority patch.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Tigers after these Motor City Connect jerseys. What's going to happen when the Lions wear their new jersey?
Dubs.
Please.
Please.
Yeah, like, I don't even want that energy put out there.
You know what? Something tells me everything will work out with the Lions, though.
Hey,
I really
absolutely. And if you need to work out, go to Planet Fitness, of course.
Nice.
Planet
That's
Fitness is
right.
home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full-body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for only $10 a month, no commitment. No matter where you are, there's a Planet Fitness close by. There are more than 50 in Metro Detroit and thousands more throughout the world. It's Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential.
Buying your first Feldman Chevrolet is much more than buying the car that will get you from point A to point B. It's a place for first memories, some big, some small. As she grows, you're not just buying her a Chevy, you're buying into a Feldman family. With more than 700,000 vehicles sold, from generation to generation, Feldman just keeps rolling.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
What's good, man? How you doing? What you got for me today? Let's have a look, man. I see the one I want right there. That's the one I'm looking for.
Welcome to the winner's circle, Blake.
Hey.
Figer Law. All we do is win.
All we do is win.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man-meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, you guys, the new glorious ice water bubble hash pre-roll now has diamonds in it. Look, they are constantly pushing to create the best cannabis experience just for you. The perfect boost comes from the added touch of pure THC diamond dust, allowing flowers for only the highest terps and making the best even better. Glorious Cannabis, check them out at your local retailer or always check them out online at gloriouscanna.com.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you, chat family, for choosing to kick off the day with the Woo Crew. We got the entire starting 5 in the building. Last segment, we were talking about these Detroit Tigers. We're going to talk a little bit more about them. So far, we got the chat in the poll. People are giving these jerseys. 41% D is leading the way right now. How's that for leaving the D out?
Yeah.
People give it right back.
Damn.
Seriously.
41%, 33% C, 20% B, 5% A, I got to speak to that 5% who said, hey, reveal yourselves in this chat. I need to know
Show
exactly
yourself.
who you are. I need to know. And who do you guys think has the best City Connect uniform as well? Because we were just talking about the Pistons. They stunk, but the Bad Boys uniforms they had were actually pretty fire. But like Broder said, you said with the losing, it kind of stained. It stained anything positive they had.
Yeah.
We'll see, man.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously the Lions alternate jerseys with like the black are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's get back into these Tigers, man. Is this the beginning of a nasty losing streak? I have still optimism and hope for the Detroit Tigers. They got a couple kind of what should be winnable series for them on the other end or other side of this Guardians series. How are you feeling about this thing?
I mean, it all depends on how they finish off this series. They, at the very absolute worst, have to get one of these next two, because then you put yourself where you're still 5 games out of first place. It's just, I think the thing with this Tigers team, and hopefully it gets remedied a little bit by Parker Meadows being sent down, hopefully, because he's been just unplayable offensively. So many things have actually gone well for this team. Riley Green is a star. Tarek Skubal is a Cy Young candidate. Even a guy like Joey Wentz, last year was probably the worst pitcher on the team, has an ERA sub-1. Alex Lang last season had an ERA north of 3, and now this year he has an ERA sub-1. And then Mark Canha has been a really great offseason addition. I don't care what anybody says, because if you don't think so, you don't watch the games. But anywho, the thing that I think has been so disappointing to me and may lead to this team falling down to earth and not reaching their potential is so many guys have underperformed even what they did last year. I had faith that Spencer Torkelson would duplicate his production. So far, he hasn't. I had faith that Jake Rogers would at least be a nice power-hitting catcher who had an OPS north of 700. He has not. I predicted that Parker Meadows would give you kind of what he did in a short sample size last year. He's been awful. Hell, even Javier Baez's OPS was over 100 points less than it was last year, and he had a terrible OPS last year. And then Colt Keith is maybe the worst everyday player in Major League Baseball, at least when it comes to the numbers. His OPS is 410, which is impossibly bad. So obviously Parker Meadows isn't going to be there anymore, and who knows if he's even ever going to hit his way up back into the majors before September. I assume he will, but who knows? It's just, I had faith that this offense would be enough. So far, I look like I'm wrong. And the fact that they're, like I said, these last three out of these last 4 games where they've wasted brilliant starting pitching, that is where my eyebrows raise a little bit, where it kind of breaks me a little bit, because I've always been pretty positive on this Tigers team, but right now, it's painful to watch. It's like open heart surgery at this point.
Well, you know what? It leads me to kind of ask this question and wonder as well about the optimism or the expectations that you have kind of moving forward. How concerned are you, like on a scale of 1 to 10, with the Detroit Tigers right now? Because obviously we knew that the Yankees and the Guardians series was going to be one that tested the Detroit Tigers. But overall, they are still 18-17 after the first month of the season. What's your concern level moving forward?
All right, so I think one thing that's been thrown around a lot, which I think is a little bit reckless at this point, is just, they're going to be there. It's a weak division. If they drop these next 2 to Cleveland, they're 7 games out, which I'm not saying that you would have lost it at that point, but that's tough to overcome, especially given the fact that you don't know where a lot of your offense is going to come from. The only people that I trust offensively are Riley Green and Mark Canha, and I guess Wimseel Perez, but I think it's also likely he was a bit of a flash in the pan, although we will see. I guess, I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but it just depends on how they finish the series. If they get swept by Cleveland, 10.
Oh, goodness gracious.
10. I mean, in terms of winning, doing anything this year, I'm not talking about the Tigers in totality and their future and everything, but in terms of winning the division, if they get swept by Cleveland, which is possible, my concern level is 10. It's like full-on panic.
Yeah, I got to admit. Hey, what's up, brother? I gotta get you first.
I'm probably at an 8, and it's only reason it's not a 10 is because this isn't like a wild surprise to me this season. Like, this is almost exactly what we were predicting, minus the Guardians and the Twins and the Royals being as good or playing as well as they have so far, winning as many games as they have thus far in the season. So just the assumption, and I'm with Sam 100%. I think on everything he said, it's hard to just sit back with that same assumption that, if they just hang around there, the AL Central is so bad that they'll sneak into the playoffs. I think they proved, as good as their pitching is, their offense is that bad where it's only an 18-17 record. And despite that, other teams are finding ways to win, and they're not just going to sneak in to the playoffs because the Central's down. Who knows? The Guardians could keep something like this up, especially if they play the Tigers X amount of games and they can get wins like this. There's reason to panic. I'm not at a 10 because I didn't expect much out of this season to get into the playoffs. It was because the Central's down. That might not happen.
Yeah.
That might not happen. It's worth being worried.
I'm at about a 7. But within the next 2 weeks, it could easily be a 10 because this ain't good, man. This is not good. And this is why them getting off to a great start was so imperative, because if they had started like in seasons past with this offense, they would be like really, really bad. Like they wouldn't even be close to sniffing the top of the division. And then when you look at what the Guardians are doing, they're 23-12, I believe now. Like Sam said, man, they're gaining ground, and it's going to be hard to catch up. And if they want any hopes of winning the division, man, they got to get this offense together. But they just got to keep going, man. They got to find a way to power through this slump right now. But I don't know when it will end and how it will end. But hopefully it ends soon.
I wonder somewhat what the sense of urgency from the front office is to really have the Detroit Tigers competing for the top of that division, because there's going to be some augmentations they have to make from the outside, going out there and trading for, or if they believe there's some players in the minors to be able to augment what's going on with the bats right now. We're getting into the second 30 days of the season, and if they are serious about making the playoffs or serious about at least competing in the Central, something has to be done. In juxtaposition to the Red Wings, where Steve Yzerman was like, hey, you know what? This rebuild is about longevity. If we don't make the playoffs this year, Steve Yzerman was kind of cool with that. And it reflected, in my opinion, in some of the moves he did or did not make for the Detroit Red Wings. But I also believe that it helped to shine the brightest light on everything they need to do going forward. I wonder where the Detroit Tigers are right now in that.
I don't think there's any urgency in terms of the standpoint of what Scott Harris is feeling. And I'm not even really outraged about that like some. I understand what he was trying to do. Like I said, a lot of these guys who I mentioned before, like the Torks and the Parker Meadowses and the Jake Rogers, you saw them be productive MLB players last year. Mm-hmm. I thought, and I was wrong, because they're all basically, taking a shit this year. I thought that they would at least maybe build upon what they did last year. They have not. And it's frustrating when somebody like I said, Riley Green is a star. Tarek Skubal is a Cy Young Award candidate, maybe the best pitcher in the MLB. And at some point, I just wonder if the prospect of potentially wasting that kind of, I don't know, makes things change a little bit. Because wouldn't it be a shame if Tarek Skubal does win a Cy Young and the Tigers win like 74 games?
Yes.
And I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it's possible. Wouldn't it be a shame if Riley Green is an all-star and Tarek Skubal is a Cy Young Award winner and the Tigers win 74 games? It would be, to me, an extreme missed opportunity. And I think the Tigers are in danger of that actually happening, especially depending on how these next two games go against Cleveland. The sad part is that I'm talking about as long as they can win one of the next two, it's not over. Yeah. So salvage a 1-5 road trip. That's kind of tough.
Yeah.
That is tough. Chat family, I want to know you guys' level of concern as well. Get it into the comment section. Kind of want to know a heat check of how people are feeling. If your expectations have changed, what those expectations are for the Detroit Tigers. And you guys are right, man. I didn't foresee the AL Central, at least to this point, looking as good as it has. I feel like the Tigers have looked exactly how we largely thought they would. We believed that the bats would take a little time to get heated up. Mm-hmm. We believed that the pitching would be the strongest part of this squad. We believed that they would have to rely on small ball to be able to squeak out some of their wins, which they have. I didn't expect there to be some of the fielding errors that we've seen this year, but I think the biggest thing right now, like Broder said, is that the AL Central is just a little bit better than any of us really believed that it was going to be.
Yeah, and when you look at the numbers and when you look at the metrics, Cleveland and Kansas City are actually good baseball teams. They're actually playing a winning, sustainable brand of baseball. The Tigers are not and have not. Even when I believed in them, you kind of saw like maybe things were going to come to a head a little bit. And And I think that's the thing. It looks, who knows, maybe Cleveland and Kansas City will come back to earth. Cleveland just did Stephen Kwan, their leadoff hitter. They're probably their best player this season, is out for a month now, so maybe they'll come back down to earth a little bit. But the numbers will tell you that they're actually playing good baseball and that the Tigers and the Twins are maybe a little bit fluky. I mean, the Twins just went on a long winning streak, but they got to face the White Sox 7 times and the Angels 3 times.
You know what? I think that'll do it for you.
I'm not poo-pooing a multiple, like a double-digit game winning streak. I'm not doing that. They took advantage of a kind of a lull in their schedule, and now they're right back in it. But I don't think the Twins, I question whether they're actually good.
And I see Ryan R. He said you guys are zooming in on 5 games and projecting that to the whole season. Settle down. Ryan R., put in the chat, where are your expectations at for these Detroit Tigers? You know, at least from what I do know, the crew has been pretty consistent with the feeling on the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah.
And that's that they're going to have a great shot to compete in the AL Central, but largely the bats will be the doom and the gloom. That really the only negative to stopping this squad. Like even the fielding errors, I'm just like, you know what? We can deal with those. If you're getting the hits that we know they've left out there, man, there's been games that they've absolutely blown. There should be at least, in my opinion,
Lob City.
2 or 3.
This is the new Lob City.
Yeah.
Left on base.
Yeah.
Seriously, the way the Tigers strand runners on base, ridiculous.
Yeah. And I know we got to go to a break, but I don't like that Ryan R. comment, because you've got 5 out of your top 9 guys in terms of at-bats for the season have OPSs that start with a 5 or a number less. 3 of them have OPSs that start with a 4. All of those 5 have on-base percentages that start with a 2. That's not the last 5 games. That's the whole season. And for the record, I wasn't one of those people that was outraged that they didn't do more in the offseason. I thought Mark Canha was enough, but I am disappointed in the regression of a lot of these guys.
Yeah.
I understand it's early, but for an OPS that starts with a 4 is impossible. And these are guys that are playing every day for the Tigers. Parker Meadows not anymore, thank God, but still Colt Keith and Javi Baez are going to continue to be trot out there.
You know what?
It's impossible.
Flannel is the best, bro. And I can tell you guys where you can take your pet to get the best. That is Premier Pet Supply. Is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Same price and all the conveniences of the online and big box retailers, with one major difference. It's been family and locally owned for over 30 plus years. They carry over 60 brands of food, and they have nutrition experts to help you. You can get same day, local curbside, and home delivery. Give your pet the best at Premier Pet Supply. Visit them online at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supplies has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
Oh, man, let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. They offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. That is 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone with you as long as needed. It is technology backed by people, and your safety and security. It deserves technology. It's been proven to work, and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT. Once again, that number is 1-800-STAY-OUT. Oh, man, what up, though? People, welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking it off this morning with the Woo Crew. We got the entire starting five in the building. Shout out to the chat family, too, man. I see Jan in the chat saying smash that like button. Thank you. Guys, we appreciate it every single time. Let's get this thing well over 100. And I saw a comment here, man, that just had me absolutely cracking up. I don't know where it is, but the person said, if my wife is pushing our dog in a stroller, that's a divorce. Brad Hendricks. If my wife had a stroller for our dog, I'd be filing for divorce. Goodness gracious.
Damn. 0 to 1, yeah. Okay.
Shout out Premier Pet Supply. I'm sure they have pet strollers. So
just don't go if you're Brad Hendricks' wife.
Listen to the sage advice of Mr. One Flannel Sam over there. But we got to get into some Detroit Lions talk. And it's been a couple segments that we have here that's going to be kind of comparative. Some stuff took off a little bit on socials and then somewhat at the network as well. And the Woo Crew is here to weigh in on the situation. Dan Campbell, where does Dan Campbell rank among the NFL head coaches? Do we have that graphic? And that's on me. I should have had a back wall one. But I remember there was kind of a listing that had a ranking of coaches. And I didn't necessarily like where Dan Campbell was ranked. But I know, Flannel, last year we talked about Dan Campbell. We talked about where his rank is, especially when the Coach of the Year race was coming down to the wire, or this season. Last season, I guess. Where are you at as it relates to this Dan Campbell and where you believe he should be ranked amongst the head coaches, the top head coaches in the NFL?
I've got him 4th, which is a lot higher than I thought I would have him at this point. But he showed me a lot last year. I mean, if you want to know really quick who I have above him, I've got Andy Reid, I've got Sean McVay, I've got Kyle Shanahan, and then I have Dan Campbell. And I think the first thing that Dan Campbell did that was pivotal for this franchise was obviously, saying, Anthony Lynn, you can't call plays anymore. I know this guy called Ben Johnson, who he kind of discovered Ben Johnson in a way and empowered him, worked alongside him to where their offense, even in year one, even their 3-13-1 season, was really good down the stretch to where they finished 3-3. And obviously we know what Ben Johnson has been since then, arguably the best offensive coordinator in the NFL. Has led the Lions to top 5 offenses in consecutive seasons. And the fact that Ben Johnson actually still wants to stay and kind of work under Dan Campbell, I think that's a testament to Dan Campbell, that Ben Johnson believes in his leadership and just believes in the direction of the Detroit Lions. And that to me says a lot, because I believe Dan Campbell is more of a leader of men type coach as opposed to like a specialist. He's not like an offensive genius like Sean McVay or a defensive genius like a Bill Belichick or somebody like that. He's a leader of men. He was a tight ends coach. But you know what? It's worked so far because Ben Johnson is thriving. And I believe Aaron Glenn is also doing a pretty damn good job given what he's worked with. And also last season, I know that I didn't agree with every call in the 49ers game, but at the same time, the aggressiveness, the going for it on 4th down, it worked out a lot more than it didn't. I will just say that. I believe it got them wins. That 4th and 2 fake punt against Kansas City, the one that was their touchdown drive. That was their touchdown drive to put them up 7-0. I believe if they punt the ball to Kansas City, they probably lose that game. It paid off there. That game at the Chargers, where one of their second touchdown of the game, the one to put them ahead 17-3, was a Jahmyr Gibbs 4th down run. And also that big 4th down call with 1:47 left in the 4th quarter at the Chargers 26. Dan Campbell wanted to set the Lions up to where they could get the 1st down, run out the clock, and kick the field goal with no time left on the clock. And they did that. They could have kicked the field goal, like a 43-yard field goal with Riley Patterson at the time, up 3 with 1:47 left, but they'd give the ball right back to Justin Herbert. They'd give the ball right back to Keenan Allen, who had just destroyed them throughout the day. That was the offensive explosion game. That's the type of aggressiveness that really paid off for the Lions. You saw it in the playoffs. You saw the 3rd touchdown of the game to put the Lions up 21-10, a 4th down pass from Goff to Laporta. You saw them pass when they were running the clock out, that pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown on 2nd and 9, to where if they would have just ran it and then ran it again, they would have and not gotten the 1st down. Stafford would have had a little bit of time to potentially lead them to a game-winning field goal. And even in that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game, Their second touchdown of the game, the one to put them up 17-10, was a 4th down run by Craig Reynolds of all people. So to me, the fact that he's really empowered his coordinators, especially Ben Johnson, the fact that he's given the Lions kind of this aggressive identity, which has, I would say, helped them more than it's hurt them, even though I had some doubts in the beginning. I'm becoming a believer. To me, that puts him way up there with the in terms of the pantheon of coaches. Hell, I've got him ahead of coaches who have won Super Bowls, like Doug Peterson, like John Harbaugh, like Mike Tomlin. To me, moving forward, Dan Campbell is the 4th best coach in the NFL.
And you know what? I like that because out of those top coaches in the NFL that you also mentioned, these guys are more or less program builders, not those kind of flash in the pan, not, hey, we have a season of success. But when you look at what they're doing with their players, what they're doing in free agency, what they're doing through the draft, and what they're doing with their own staff, you're able to see that people want to play for these organizations. People are willing to go and kind of give the discounts for these types of organizations. And I do believe that Dan Campbell, who was hired here before Brad was even hired here, has a lot to do with that. When you look at what he's doing with this staff right now on both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively, he doesn't care about who his friend is. He cares about who's going to be here to get the job actually done. And he's pushing all of the right buttons. To put that in contrast, when you go back to the Millen era, where this thing was all about friends and connections and hookups, it's like night and freaking day. And Dan Campbell has been more than a breath of fresh air to Detroit sports.
He put a professional bullet in Anthony Lynn, his friend, when it wasn't working.
It's true.
It's like out of here, brother.
And ever since that happened, the Lions' offense has been elite.
Yes.
One thing changed. I mean, just a couple things change, and then all of a sudden, their offense is the engine of a team that goes to the NFC Championship game just a couple of years later. That's what you have to do as a strong leader. You have to make those decisions. You have to foster an environment where coordinators want to stay, even if they have head coaching offers, which Ben Johnson certainly did.
For a couple years in a row.
Yes, I contrast that with a guy like Nick Sirianni, who had both of his coordinators leave, and then the Eagles kind of fell apart down the stretch. Because I don't think Nick Sirianni is as strong a leader as a guy like Dan Campbell. Hell, I think Nick Sirianni is turning into a little bit of a meme and a clown, honestly, which is something that Dan Campbell certainly is not, even if he rubbed a few people the wrong way early on in his press conference stuff. But he is a strong leader. And one of the ways he put his, I would say, footprint on the game was all of those 4th down decisions, the aggressiveness. And it worked many, many times. Without those aggressive calls, for example, at Kansas City and at the Chargers, I don't think they win either of those games. And they did.
I love that point, Flannel, because it was pretty clear early on that he's a leader of men and he's going to at least motivate his team, his players. But to be able to make those decisions and not only make the decisions, firing your friends, Aubrey Pleasant included, Dre Bly and John Scott Jr., like if things don't work out, he's not afraid to make a move and upgrade the coordinators and the position coaches' positions too. So that's not always easy when you're dealing with your peers, when you're dealing with friends, when you're dealing with guys you played with. But he's been able to make those, and that's part of why I factored in. Flannel and I had the exact same list. Like, we didn't plan this ahead. I have him at number 4, and I think we approached this list the same way because when I was first making the list, I was factoring in like the history, the longevity of some of the coaches, where I would put John Harbaugh and Mike Tomlin and Sean Payton ahead of Dan Campbell, looking at their entire careers. But in terms of like, what have you done for me lately? Dan Campbell's right up there at number 4, and I have DeMeco Ryans at number 5. Just what they're doing with their teams, how they're, embracing a new way, a new style of coaching that we haven't seen in the NFL in, quite some time or ever. It's just they're different than the Andy Reids, the Sean McVays. Ed had a great comment in here at some point. It was I think the perfect coach is somewhere between like a Sean McVay and a Dan Campbell, like their creativity and innovation with Dan Campbell's aggressiveness and leadership style. So I do have McVay 2, by the way, Shanahan 3, and then Campbell 4.
Yeah.
No, that's a good list. KG, what up, though, brother?
They spot on. They got their list perfect, man. I would put those 3 above Dan Campbell right now. And when you look at them, you got one with multiple Super Bowls, you got one with a Super Bowl, and one that's been to the Super Bowl multiple times. So that's saying a lot for a coach that's only been in the league 3 years, going on 4 now, and that had such a rough start to his career, man. Like, a lot of people forget that Dan Campbell, that it was rough, man. And that second season, a lot of people were starting to wonder, is this guy the man for the job, man? And so far it's worked out, man, and he's turned this team around. And it's not just Dan Campbell, it's absolutely the people he's put around him as well.
Yeah.
He's made the right decisions at the right times. His aggressiveness has paid off for us and turned us into a team that we've never seen here in Detroit, man. So I think the list is perfect, but you do got some coaches on this tail, man. You got D'Amico Ryans. You got I hate to say it, Matt LaFleur, because he's done it a lot. So he has some coaches on his tail, but he has to remain in that top tier of coaches going forward.
You know what? Eduardo O'Neill has a great question. Before I kick it over to you, JB, he asks, and I want to save this for mailbag too. So Ed, save this question. He asks, do you think a better defense will have him, Dan Campbell, be more aggressive or less? I think that's a pretty great question.
Ooh, we can save that. That's a good one. Yeah,
that's a good one. JB, what about you with these coaches before we get into Jared Goff versus Jordan Love?
No, I think you guys are spot on as well, too. If it's not 4, it's at least top 5. You have to put him in that kind of category. And I definitely think it comes from his leadership. It comes in different kind of styles with all the coaches that have been in place, before him and after him. It's just you're getting a very unique, different style of coach out of Dan Campbell. You're not getting this multi-year, MVP playoff run type of coach. You're getting a raw new age coach who, as you all have said before, he's not afraid to go out here and then, as Sam puts, put a bullet in his friend to end his coaching career. Like, if he sees something not working, he's going to sit here and change it. He's not going to sit here and wait till mid-season or the end of the season to make changes. No, if it's not working, he's going to make adjustments then and now and then improve this team. That's because he is so built in and ingrained in this team that he wants everyone to be built in as well with him as too. And you can see that from the front office to his coaches to all the players. It comes with, if you don't buy into this program, then it's not going to work. And he's not afraid to step up and sit here and change that in any way whatsoever. So it's top 5 for me.
Yeah, definitely. And that's to me is what's the most awesome part is his ability to build a program within the NFL. Just to have prospects I don't even hear yet already bought in to what the Detroit Lions are trying to do. Having prospects and free agents saying all the different keywords to try and audition and interview to be a part of what the Detroit Lions are doing. And you see people get here, and instantly it's that brotherly love. It's that team stuff. To see Amik Robertson, Carlton Davis, Reader, some of these new guys being active online about their love of wanting to be here, especially Amik Robertson. He's probably been one of the loudest on social media. I think it's not. I think it definitely is a testament to what Dan Campbell has been doing with these Detroit Lions. I think that ultimately mixed with the success, because obviously no success.
Yeah.
There's no way Flannel's putting them anywhere near the top 15.
Right, yeah.
But with the success, along with all the intangibles, he's definitely firmly top 5. I think it's what separates him from some of those kind of established coaches that are just on his heel as well.
Yeah.
So, but hey, you know what? I can tell you guys about something else that's awesome as well. I need you guys to stick around because Jared Goff versus Jordan Love, who's the best quarterback in the NFC North, is on the way, and I need the chat family to make sure that they are in this conversation. But awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Just walk in anytime, sit back and relax. Know that a talented hairstylist, one of Lady Jane's, will make you look and feel great. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week. That is Lady Jane's. It is wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today. You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Visit Dispo Dispensary today for deals too good to miss. Meet a team that curates an unbelievable atmosphere and shopping experience. Try the freshest inventory for Michigan's largest variety of products. Come through our stores or order on Dispo Dash today. Dispo Dispensary, disposhops.com, your local cannabis plug.
I never thought I'd have to do this. It's a very important press conference. Need to address some things going on, some things being said. And I just really need to apologize on behalf of myself and everybody else at Woodward Sports for easy not understanding how great Jared Goff is. I mean, at first it was cute, right? It was like, oh, he didn't believe in Goff. It was cute. It was like, okay, you know, this guy doesn't know ball. But then it was like, okay, now Goff's performing and he still doesn't see the light. So now it's like, now I'm just confused. Like, does Easy have just mental problems, or is it his pride? Is it just he doesn't know ball even less than I thought he didn't know ball? But either way, I just want to make an apology to all of Detroit and all of the fans of Jared Goff from behalf of myself, Stick, and Woodward Sports for Easy and his lame takes.
Let's go. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. Man, inner office shots fired, man. Shout out to Stick. Shout out to Easy as well. Wow, I can't wait to see where everybody else is, at in this debate, man.
I was not expecting that.
I cannot wait. Yo, I was looking at Flandel's face during that entire thing. I can't wait for this segment. Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward Chat family. As always, you guys are the most important part of this show. Go ahead and smash that like button. We got the entire Woo crew in the building, the whole starting five, man. The vet, our MVP, our first round draft pick, your credentialed Lions and Tigers reporter, and your credentialed Lions and Tigers and your Pistons reporter as well. But we got to get into this, man. Jared Goff, Jordan Love. It's at some aspect of this, man. I sense that people get this feeling of what have you done for me before versus what have you done for me lately. And I think that people diminish what Jared Goff is doing right now. Not just what he did before, not just the promise that he had as a top overall pick. Flannel, I got to get your take on this thing, man. Jared Goff, Jordan Love in the NFC North. Who do you believe is the best quarterback?
Well, it's Jared Goff. However. No. Yes. No.
Sorry, go ahead.
It is Jared Goff, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world what Easy said. You can make a case for you would rather have Jordan Love on your team moving forward, because you look at last season, you look at kind of like the main stats. Jared Goff has Jordan Love in some. Jordan Love has Jared Goff in some. When they played each other head to head, they both had really good games in each other's house, but bad games at their own house, which is kind of funny how that works. But hey, that's just how it did. I think with Jordan Love, the difference is that you only saw it for one season, and he had a great year. He really did. And he had a road playoff win in his first playoff game ever. However, I think it speaks to Jordan Love's inexperience that he did cost his team with his interceptions. I'm not saying he was the only thing, but he threw one late in the third quarter when they were up 7, and then he threw one late in the game across his body when the Packers had plenty of time to go down and maybe tie the game or take the lead. With Jared Goff, I think what puts him over the top for me now is he has that playoff experience. He played, I would say, pretty much excellent in the playoffs, turnover free. It was not his fault that they lost the NFC Championship game. He put the ball out right on Josh Reynolds a couple of times, and Josh Reynolds couldn't catch it. And if he catches the first one, the Lions are certainly in the Super Bowl. And hey, if he catches the second one, I think the Lions have a very good chance of getting the go-ahead score after the 49ers had tied the game and kind of stabilizing things a little bit. I think it's closer than you think. I think Jordan Love surprised a lot of us and is really, really good. But I think given the fact that Jared Goff has that experience, has had multiple good seasons, has had multiple playoff runs, I would go with Jared Goff for now. And I'm pretty confident in that. But I also, the last person I want to weigh in on something like that is somebody like Stick. Get your tongue off of his nutsack, please.
Oh,
please.
Wow.
Please.
Wow. Whoa,
Okay.
diss track from Flannels.
Okay.
Wow. You know what? With this Jared Goff, Jordan Love thing, it's crazy to me how quickly even the national narrative is just there, ready, willing, and able to pick up anything that the Packers put down. And I hate it. You got the Detroit Lions. I'm serious. Even from the shock jock people all the way to some of the pundits out there who you probably respect their opinions a little bit more. Everybody's ready to say the door's closed on the Lions. The Packers are taking over. Jordan Love is that deal. And it's like he had one good season. It feels like everyone's looking for one good season to try and qualify Jordan Love, but they're looking for one good season to try and disqualify Jared Goff, and it's not there. You talk about 2 interceptions in your first playoff appearance. Jared Goff has been to the playoffs 4 times and only has 2 interceptions in all of those years. That's what I'm saying. It's like Jared Goff, to me, though he might not be what everybody is looking for from a prototypical quarterback, you know, the big arm strength, can just air it out, and some of the things that people love about Matthew Stafford and some of the things that people love about Jordan Love, he just seems to be the guy that has continued to get it done. Already a Super Bowl appearance, been to the NFC Championship game twice, led 2 different teams there. With the Lions, man, that's account for 2 teams in and of itself.
Okay. That's where I push back a little bit because the Lions are actually a good team. They don't have the stench of the Lions. It's not like you can look at it as and I'm not a Jared Goff hater, by the way. I'm just trying to add some objectivity. You can look at it as, yeah, he pulled the ultimate miracle and led the Lions to the playoffs, but you can also look at the fact that his offensive coordinator was Ben Johnson. He had the best running back duo in the NFL behind him. He had the best offensive line. He has guys like Amon-Ra and Sam Laporta, and I'm not discrediting him. I'm just saying that he did. It was a hell of an accomplishment. I love what Jared Goff has done for this team. I have Jared Goff above Jordan Love. I don't think it's the most insane thing ever if you'd rather have Jordan Love moving forward. If you look at resume, obviously Jordan Love hasn't had time to really build a resume, and it could be a one-hit wonder. It's just, to me, I understood a little bit of what Easy was saying, even if I disagree with him. There's a couple ways you can disagree. You can be like, I understand your points, but I disagree, or you can think that they're out of their mind. I am the former when it comes to Easy.
My thing was saying that Jared Goff, what he's doing for the Lions should count as 2, is the fact that Jared Goff realistically was one of the few established players on this squad over the last 3 seasons. A lot of the other players that have had to contribute have been young players, have been rookies, have been new guys. That's why I put so much more onus on what Jared Goff is doing right now. Jordan Love stepped into an organization that realistically gave him the opportunity to sit and look and watch one of the best quarterbacks of all time do his thing on an organization that has largely built itself up so well that the foundation is just there. When Jared Goff came to this team, there wasn't much to really write home about. He's been the guy that has had all of the experience beforehand. He's been the guy that got to the top of the mountain before a lot of the other guys on this Detroit Lions team, and he's the reason why a lot of these teams, in my opinion, he's one of the biggest reasons why they even got a taste or a sniff of the NFC, within a sniff of the Super Bowl. That's why I put a little bit more on what Jared Goff is doing. When you sit back and you look at the results and you look at his career overall, you look at the stats, you look at how clean of football he's been able to play. I don't know what makes it, honestly, as close as some people have it out to be. And that is not an indictment on Jordan Love, but just the fact that he's only done it for 1 season.
And that's fair. And that's where the tiebreaker has always been for me. If Jordan Love, and I think we would all agree that if Jordan Love comes out and has another great year, then I think all of us would be more open to a conversation involving Jared Goff and Jordan Love. But the reality is that he hasn't. But what he did in that year for the Packers was very, very impressive. And I think it was a little bit, I would say, unexpected. he didn't, like Aaron Jones was out for a lot of the year. All of his targets have been drafted in the last couple of years. And the fact that Jordan Love has kind of been able to develop this sort of relationship with all of them and help make a lot of them future stars, like Jaden Reed, for example, it could go both ways. That holds a lot of weight with me. But at the same time, Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I don't know if they would be what they are without the other, if that makes sense. So
it does.
It's a tough call.
It does, especially when you talk about all your weapons being drafted in the last couple of years and the situation being perfect around you. Aaron Jones was out for the first half of that year, and we're talking about Jordan Love having a good season. In fact, he had a good 8 games.
Yeah,
he was hot garbage for the first 9 games of that season. The 3-6 record, 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, losses to the Lions, the Raiders, the Broncos, the Vikings. But from week 10 on, he was great. 6-2 record, 18 touchdowns to 1 interceptions. Even in the final 5 games of this regular season, they lost to the Giants, they lost to the Bucks, but he was great. And it did coincide with Aaron Jones returning and playing and running like the best running back in the league. In the final 4 games, Aaron Jones had 76 carries, 411 yards. And then in the playoff win over the Cowboys, Aaron Jones had 21 carries, 118 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Jared Goff is the best quarterback in the NFC North. If we're talking about who would we choose if we're building a team moving forward, I have no problem bringing Jordan Love into this debate. Like, the dude is talented. He has a bright future. I'm nervous about him as a Lions guy. Like, there are a lot of great things that Jordan Love has the ability to do. So this, again, isn't an indictment on Jordan Love, but Jared Goff had a better 2023 season. He's had a better career. Jared Goff's rookie year, his 2017 year, first year as a starter, was better than Jordan Love's 2023 season. And we're talking about having the pieces right around you. Sounds like a pretty good situation getting drafted into, learning behind Aaron Rodgers for 3 years in an organization that's run correctly, a good offensive line, a good running game. We talk about a good running back duo and weapons around you. It's not just a given that because you have everything perfect around you, or this OC or the offensive line or running back set, you're just going to perform. Look at the Falcons. Desmond Ritter. Who's the better quarterback? Jared Goff or Desmond Ritter?
Well, Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter's the worst quarterback ever.
Exactly. And who's more athletic? Like, who has some more athletic skills? It's Desmond Ritter.
Well, and it doesn't mean shit.
It doesn't mean shit. But he was put into a situation with the Falcons, and it's not a perfect comparison to the Packers. But the point I'm making, he had everything around him to be successful. Good offensive line, good running back duo, good weapons around him. But he was the worst quarterback in the NFL, right? Yeah. It's not just a given that because you have everything perfect around you that you're just it's easy. Jared Goff came to the Lions when Brashad Perryman was his best weapon. He turned around the only quarterback in history to turn around 2 different franchises who had missed the playoffs for over 10 years and lead him to the NFC North. I think it lead him to the NFC Championship or the championship game. That's what I think what I hear when you're talking about Jared Goff doing it for the Lions, counts as 2. It does make a difference that you're the quarterback that turned the Lions around. So, 2 more stats for you. Actually, 2 more points, and we're probably going to talk about this next segment. But if we're talking about, in all the stats, Jared Goff, other than rushing and 2 touchdowns and 1 interception, Jared Goff blows Jordan Love away in every stat, but especially fourth quarter. When the game's within 7 points, Jordan Love 5 touchdowns, 50% completion percentage, 5 touchdowns, 5 interceptions, 5 sacks, and a rating of 66.3. Jared Goff in the fourth quarter within 7 points, 69% completion percentage,
talk dirty.
3 touchdowns, 1 interceptions, 2 sacks, and a rating of 114.7.
Tell me more about that 69%.
You want more primetime games? Jared Goff, 66%. This is in 2023. 66% completion percentage, 11 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Jordan Love, 62% completion, 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. He's done it. He's been great for 8 games.
You know what, Ryan?
8 games.
We got to get into the next segment.
Yeah.
I'm seeing stuff because we
should take a quick break.
JB, let's take that break. Man. I'm seeing some comments in the chat we got to get to as well. As always, guys, thank you for your support. Go ahead and smash that like button for the crew. But now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier is not slipping in any extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit them online at swissins.com and let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports. For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
Hey, you guys, are you tired of wearing that same old Detroit sports
that
merch?
Detroit sign shirt.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, let me tell you right now, it's a new era with new sports wearables, amazing designs, and the ultimate swag. Look, go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab. I'm telling you right now, we are dropping new designs every single week. Kool-Aid's a fan of the Detroit sign shirt. I'm not so much, but if you like it, hey, get two of them, one for you and one for your
Something
friend.
for everybody.
But you got the Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes election t-shirts, hoodies, hats as well too. And I got to show you this one as well too, because we made history at the NFL draft, breaking the record for people attending. They had to turn people away. So why not turn people on and rock one of these new shirts right here that we got to let you know that you're representing the 313 and the draft very well. Go to woodwardsports.com, click on that shop tab.
What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the morning with the Woo Crew. We got the entire starting five in the building. You know what? We got to get back into this Jared Goff versus Jordan Love conversation. I think it's just starting to get good, and we got to hear from our elite booth as well. We had Sam dropping heat. We had Broder with the stats. KG, what's good with you, man?
And they pretty much said it all, but I just want to double down on Broder's point. I'm sick of this narrative that, you know, okay, Jared Goff, he needs to have this around him in order to be successful, or that's the only reason that he is successful. Well, duh. Every quarterback needs something to be successful. Name me one quarterback that has done it solely on his own. I'll wait. You can't. Every quarterback needs something, whether it be offense, defense, or both. All of the teams that win Super Bowls, they normally have something around their quarterback. So I'm just sick of that narrative, man. It's almost like they want to use that to discredit him. But he's come in and he's made it work. To Broder's point, just because you're plugged into a good situation doesn't always mean it's going to work. So I'm just sick of that narrative being brought up about Jared Goff and try to pretty much make him a system quarterback, which, okay, yeah, he is, but a lot of teams are. A lot of teams are. So that's just me.
Yeah, and when you talk about the weapons with look at that. I like that. I like the KG cooking, man. Bringing the heat.
Into weapons, and I'll pass it right back to you. But like, there's this misconception that like Goff has these elite and yes, they are elite now. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Sam Laporta, they're elite now. But Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th round pick. Josh Reynolds, 4th round pick. J-Mo was a 1st round pick, but there are a lot of J-Mo haters out there that are also Goff haters. But I'm using this for Goff's point. Khalif Raymond, undrafted. Sam Laporta, 2nd round tight end. Jordan Love's weapons. Christian Watson, 2nd round receiver. Romeo Doubs was a 4th round receiver. That's a good pick. But then Jaden Reed, 2nd round. Luke Musgrave, 2nd round. Tucker Kraft, 2nd round. It's not like Goff started with a bunch of 1st round picks. Like there's time we give some credit to the guy getting the ball to a 4th rounder who's all pro, to a rookie who had the best season in the history for a tight end. Like he's got to get him the ball. And I get they're good yards after the catch, but you got to get him the ball.
Yep.
Sorry, there's my weapons.
No,
I had a little weapons rebuttal.
That's what I was going to talk about as well. It's like, what weapons? When he got here, the weapons are completely different. They started to kind of really draft. You look around it, it's either undrafted free agents that they brought to the Lions or the drafted players here. This is your veteran, experienced quarterback working to get the best out of these players on this team. And that's why during the break, and the only reason why I'm going to even drop this comparison is because Jared Goff has been to a Super Bowl, and he has led 2 different franchises that were in the slums to the NFC Championship game.
I don't put a lot of weight in that Rams getting them to the Super Bowl.
Why? Because he had a team around him.
He didn't do a whole lot. He had 1 touchdown pass the entire playoff run. He led his team to 3 points.
But he got him there.
He didn't. He had a lot of help. I will just say that he had a ton of help.
His stats are better than Jordan in 2017. They're better than Jordan Love's in 2023, and he was 11-4.
No, well, 2017 that was his that was the first year with McVay. The next year was the next year. I think his stats and Love's were almost identical. It was like 32 touchdowns, 12 picks, basically. But in the playoffs, it was 1 touch. I give him 100 full credit. Bow at his feet for what he did for this playoff run. It's just, I don't know. This idea, I'll give you an example, which a lot of you aren't going to like, but you know what? I just have to do it. So Jared Goff got a team to a Super Bowl while throwing 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions, but Josh Allen lost a game in Kansas City in which he threw 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, threw the go-ahead touchdown pass with 13 seconds left and never got the ball back, and he's a loser. Football is a complicated game, and I'm not trying to discredit Jared Goff or anything like that. It's just, and I agree with a lot of what you guys say. Every quarterback needs weapons. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, all of those guys have won Super Bowls with very, very good teams. It's just, we don't know if Jared Goff's ceiling, even with a good team, is the Super Bowl. I think that it is. I think he can win. I think they could win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff this season. Certainly, they could have last year.
Right.
Jared Goff made the throws. He made the throw to Josh Reynolds. Josh Reynolds just didn't catch it. If he catches that first one, they're in the Super Bowl, and I think they have a chance to beat Kansas City. I guess what I'm saying is that Jared Goff, to me, has grown a lot since that 2018 season. I give him full credit for last year, but not a ton for 2018. I give him some, but it's not like when you say he led a team to a Super Bowl, it almost implies that he carried them or something.
No, it implies he's a quarterback.
He's a quarterback.
Yes.
And they're going to get either all of the credit and praise, or they're going to get all of the hate.
I disagree, though. And if you've watched enough of the show.
Who got all the hate? Who was the one that the Rams looked at and said, you know what, he's not the one that we can get this thing done with, even though they got there.
But they were right. They were proven right, at least for the Rams. At least for the Rams, they were proven right. And it's not hate on Jared Goff. Jared Goff might win one with the Lions, and then we can shove it all back in the Rams' face, and we can say that the Lions definitively won the trade.
The crazy thing is when you kind of flip this thing around, and obviously a Super Bowl appearance is missing from Jared Goff's resume here in Detroit. They were 20 minutes away. When you flip this thing around, he's had less help, in my opinion, to start his Detroit Lions career and what he's had to kind of groom than Matthew Stafford did.
Come on.
Matthew Stafford had a whole, on the offensive side and on the defensive side of the ball, those Detroit Lions teams had it together, man.
Dude, Brad Holmes versus Martin Mayhew versus Matt Millen. Brad Holmes is the best GM in Detroit Lions history.
He is.
And Martin Mayhew and Bob Quinn and them were drafting guys like Tease Tabor and Eric Ebron and whatnot.
But Matthew Stafford had supposedly all of the, because when we're talking about this thing between Jared Goff and Jordan Love, we're talking about the supposed talent, the supposed skill set that these quarterbacks do or don't have. I was told that Jared Goff does not have the skill set to get it done. We just saw the Detroit Lions of all franchises 20 minutes away from a Super Bowl.
I know.
And he wasn't the reason why they did not get there.
Of course, but you also have to factor in the 3 consecutive phenomenal draft classes that Brad Holmes has had. And I'm not discrediting him. Nobody could have won with the situation that Jared Goff walked into in 2021. Prime Mahomes couldn't have won with that. I know that. However, it's just football is a complicated game. I don't give the quarterback 100% of the credit. I don't give quarterback 100% of the blame unless that they deserve it. And I think in the case of Jared Goff, certainly last year, he didn't deserve really any of the blame for the NFC Championship game loss. And I always have to say that because people think I'm a hater. Jared Goff played well enough to get this Lions team to a Super Bowl. It's just, In that case, a couple of things let him down. A couple of his teammates let him down. I'm looking at you, Josh Reynolds.
But that's the thing, man. It's like, to me, when your organization says we believe you can make any throw, and you actually do that throughout the entire postseason, 20 minutes shy of the Super Bowl, that's where my comparison is like, a lot of people looked at Chauncey Billups and thought Chauncey Billups wasn't him. Obviously, when you win the championship, that takes away a lot of that narrative. But Chauncey Billups was largely the same type of player. He learned to kind of lead a little bit better. He learned to be more of a cohesive point guard, but largely his stats were generally the same. And they're not stats that are going to blow any other point guard out the water. You're looking at 16 points, 6 or 7 assists a game. There were point guards that were scoring more. There were point guards that were dishing more, but there was something a little bit more intrinsic about Chauncey Billups. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the most athletic, but he did his job in that team. There was something about that team, despite the weapons that were around him, that wasn't going to go without Chauncey Billups being that point guard that Larry Brown called that coach on the floor. That's what I relate more or less to Jared Goff, that I believe a lot of people, they just don't take into some type of account. Jared Goff is bringing something to this team that I haven't seen another quarterback be able to do as it relates to elevating. I give Brad Holmes, you guys already know, I'm going to give Brad Holmes all the credit in the world, but they were still rookies. They were still former undrafted free agents. These are the guys, you're talking about 4th-round draft picks. These are the guys. You're talking about draft picks that when they were picked, like even a Jahmyr Gibbs and a Sam Laporta, people were wondering, what are we doing? What is going on here? To the most of the human eye out there, a lot of us believe that Jared Goff was not being helped by what Brad Holmes was doing. We sit in hindsight now and state that, and then I believe the danger in that is we pull back, we pull away from what role did Jared Goff actually play in helping these other players develop? What role did he do? Because we give this to other quarterbacks. We say, well, that quarterback, they helped make these types of players. Well, what is Jared Goff doing? Is he just a system quarterback, or is he a guy that has these intrinsic values that now when you see 2 organizations get to the NFC Championship, 2 organizations that honestly were not at their best, and he was involved with both of them, at some point in time, there's something a little bit more than just the stats that meets the eye for me as it relates to Jared Goff.
Well, I will say this, and this might surprise you coming from me, but it's objective and true. If Jared Goff wins a Super Bowl for the Detroit Lions, you will see him wearing a gold jacket in Canton someday. 100%. And that's not controversial at all. That would be a hell of an achievement, similar to Chauncey Billups, for example. I know you brought him up, and he just got his gold jacket, and deservedly so. So if you want to say that, that's 100% true. If Jared Goff leads this team to a Super Bowl win, he is 100% and no doubt Hall of Famer.
Man, any other comments, guys?
There's too many. We don't have enough time. Literally. It's whether you want to talk 2023 or the entirety of his season. He's proved how good of a quarterback he is. You can call us simps. You can call us gobblers, whatever you want. Jared Goff, at this point in his career, is a better quarterback than Jordan Love.
And we just got to see more Love. That's it. Not saying that he can't be the all NFC quarterback going forward, but as of right now, it's Goff, man. Jordan Love has to prove it.
He has to prove it. And honestly, I don't even think this is truly a comparison. You just have a small sample size of what Jordan Love has done. He sat here behind Aaron Rodgers for a long time, who probably didn't want to teach him anything, but you see flashes of what he's learned from Aaron Rodgers in his game from this one season, but yet it's only been one season. If you're starting a new franchise right now, yes, I can see you wanting to take the younger quarterback, obviously. But as of right now, it's Jared Goff, hands down. He's taken 2 franchises to, as you said, an NFC Championship game. And hell, one to a Super Bowl. Sorry he didn't win it, but still at the same time, he has more skill sets than Jordan Love does. And yes, Jordan Love is more athletic, and this is turning into a running QB league. But as of right now, you still value those skills as a QB who can stand in the pocket and deliver, and that's Jared Goff.
Do you know what it is? And I think it all boils down to this, because Broder, I got to give you credit. You brought the numbers, and I think you all brought some really, really good arguments. And for the record, I agree with you. Jared Goff is better than Jordan Love right now.
And for the record, I don't view you as a hater.
Right, I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Not at all.
It's the people like Stick who almost
back to the diss
It's
track.
the people like Stick who just drive me crazy with like the gobbling. And that's okay. And for the record, you can like Jared Goff all you want, but anytime he does anything good, he's got to go to his victory lap and everything. Like, if you say that Jared Goff isn't better than Patrick Mahomes, you're a hater or something like that. He didn't exactly say that, but that's what he implies. That's the stuff that drives me a little bit crazy.
Hey, shout out to Rake. He said, why are we even arguing this? The almighty JJ will be the best QB in the division by far. Doesn't everyone know that?
Well, I hope not.
Don't let Neil Rule hear you say that.
I hope not.
Hey, JB McCarthy. What up, though?
I think he's going to be good, though. I do. I
Jordan Love?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh, yeah. Both. I think Jordan Love's going to be great, too.
Oh, man. You know what? Let's get into this next segment. Broder's been doing a good job at keeping us kind of updated on some of these undrafted free agents. And we got another one to get into, wide receiver Isaiah Williams out of Illinois. But first, we got to hear from Les Stanford.
Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust. On Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Let's drive.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
And with the first pick in the 2024 Media Draft, Detroit selects Woodward Sports. Thank you for making us the #1 digital network in Detroit.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. With 18 locations, there's a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit feldmanauto.com to find the location nearest you. Catch Woodward Sports Network live from Feldman Chevrolet of Novi every other Monday.
Let's go. What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. We appreciate you guys greatly. Thank you for choosing to kick off the morning with the crew. The sun is out. Woodward is live. We're talking our Detroit sports with the chat family. It's epic as always. And you know what? We're going to get into one of our segments as well. One of my favorite segments here. Actually, a lot of them are favorites. But I see Broder just dropped it in the chat as well. We're getting into triple threat with KG.
What up?
What up, though?
Hey, man.
At nobody.
You damn right. So, y'all know what it is. The name of the game is Triple Threat. In 3 words, I will present a question or scenario, and in 3 words, you have to give me an answer. And you can give a short explanation as to why you gave that answer. For example, if I asked Sam's feelings about the last segment, he would say, suck it, stick. So, it's pretty simple, man. But are we ready, guys?
Let's rock.
So
All
ready.
right, let me get some music going. First question
DJ
of Triple
KG.
Threat. Which Lions player or staff need to step up in order for them to make a Super Bowl appearance? In 3 words. So 3 names, essentially.
Aaron Glenn's defense.
Ooh.
Okay.
That is a great one. I would say, oh my God, this is tough. I would say
It could be players or staff.
All right. Davenport, Campbell, Amik.
I like that.
Okay. JB?
Oh, give me Hutch. Hutch, Dan, AG.
Hutch, Dan, AG? Okay.
Yeah.
Give me Mr. Aiden Hutchinson. I think if he takes another step up and that defense takes another step up, it's game over for the opponents.
That's a good one. You can see we're kind of looking at it in opposite kind of ways. But I like that one as well.
That's why it's a great. It's just how you interpret it. There's some similarities, I'm sure, to how we're thinking. But 100%. I say if Hutch is a game wrecker that I think he's going to be this year, maybe what we hoped last year, but what he truly can be this year, that transforms the defense and really transforms the team.
100%.
Yep, and my answers would be Hutch, J-Mo, and AG. I know Sam thinks I hate Hutch. I don't. But he is great right now, but he can get to an elite status, and that's what I want to see from Hutch. J-Mo, obviously, he's stepping into that number 2 role. We need him to really, really take a step up as an all-around receiver in order for the Lions to make the Super Bowl. And, of course, AG, you got everything you need now, at least, on paper. Go make it happen. Go make this defense into a winning, Super Bowl winning defense.
How about this, KG?
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was about to say, let's see what the
Oh, yeah, JZJ says J-Mo, Campbell, Hutch. Rando Small says Badgley. Xavier D says right defensive end. So along that Davenport, James Houston path, Hutch, J-Mo, kicker from Chuckle Cheese, and Steve DeYoung, much more sacks.
All right.
Okay. Chat family's active on this.
The next question is, let me get some more music going. This is a Tigers question. In 3 words, give me the names of the Tigers players you would send down to AAA in order of priority. So the first name being the one that needs to go first, and then from there. In order of priority.
All right, I'll go.
All right.
Torkelson. Well, we're factoring in Meadows is already down.
Oh, so, well, yeah, I guess you can. Yeah.
So Meadows would be Meadows, Torkelson, Keith.
I would say Meadows, Keith. I guess Torque. I don't want to send him down, but those are the only 3 you really can at this point.
Yeah. Me neither. You can't send Javi Baez down.
Yeah.
You can't send one of the catchers down.
I was going to say Carson Kelly, but you can't.
Yeah.
No,
that was going to be my same order as well. I'll put Torque kind of at the lowest in terms of percent that I want to see him down there. Just kind of reverse the order that you had, brother.
JB.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I put Torque 3rd because I don't want to send him down, but because I'm a fan of him. But at the same time, like if this improves the team and he needs some work, then he needs to go. So
I feel like it's that conversation of we'll send him down if it's a mental thing. Make it even more mental for him, or do you just allow him to sit on a bench and figure this thing out?
Yeah, I mean, to me, sitting him on the bench is kind of like wasting him. You can send him to AAA and actually be working on his game. But for me, it would be Meadows, Torque, and then Keith. Obviously, Meadows, he's kind of already essentially going to be sent down. But Torque is next up, man. If Torque can't get it together within the next week, he needs to be down there. I know they have no plans to do it, but something's got to change, man. You can't keep going on like this. You already done lost the advantage that you had in the win column. They're 18-17 now. You got to start figuring some things out.
Ryan Ars, Javi, Torque, Keith. Torque, Meadows, and Keith out of Vincent E.
Trade Javi Baez.
It's just Baez, and Baez.
Yeah. Side Grays just says trade Javi Baez. Yeah. So I think we're all on the same page.
All right, cool. So question number 3. What improvements are you most expecting from this Lions defense in 3 words? What improvements are you most expecting from this Lions defense in 3 words?
Oh,
take your time.
Secondary will cover. I'll say that.
Okay.
I'm going to cheat a little bit. Pass defense, rush.
Let's go. Let's go.
Pass defense, rush.
I like it. JB.
I'm going to go more sacks, baby.
Hey.
Okay.
I'll go sacks, coverage, and turnovers. All 3 are going to improve.
Sacks, coverage, and turnovers.
Yes. Turnovers forced, but you know what?
Yeah. I'm thinking about mine in real time. I would say I'm kind of biting off Sam. Better pass rush. I definitely want to see a better pass rush. I do think it'll be improved with the addition of DJ Reader and hopefully Marcus Davenport if he stays healthy. So
Ryan R, sacks, picks, and swag.
Oh,
I missed the opportunity to say improved linebacker play.
Linebacker play.
Group.
Jack Campbell, please. More defensive sacks, says Dante151. Eric Allen, pass rush dominance. Steve DeYoung, much more INTs. JZJ, INTs, sacks, and celebrations. I like that.
Okay.
As long as Hutch doesn't hurt his knee.
Oh, yeah.
No more stanky leg. I don't like that one.
Yeah, no,
not a fan.
His stanky leg was looking clean anyway, so he got to stop doing that.
Wasn't it early? Was it Carolina?
They did the double, the discount double check. I forget our linebacker.
God, yeah. Stephen Tulloch, right?
Stephen Tulloch. Yeah. Goodness, yeah.
Goodness gracious, ass is bodacious. Yeah.
I don't know about all that, but question 4. What's your first move as the Pistons' new president of basketball operations in 3 words?
Pressure's on,
everybody.
Let Troy cook. Let Troy cook. Whoever the GM is, let that person cook.
Oh, no.
That's
let
what
Troy
it is.
Cook.
That's what it is.
Jesus.
I don't care. Whoever the GM is, let the GM cook. That's it.
I don't know about that one, Kool-Aid.
You got to. What's the only other option is what? Let the front office continue to go the way it's
How
been
about
going?
fire Troy Weaver?
I don't think it's on him. I'm going to stand by that. I don't think it's necessarily on him.
It's not, but the ship
call
done
something
sailed,
different.
man. Like, he's not going to succeed going for I just don't see it. I don't see it. But, Sam.
Trade Jaden Ivey. This is probably Stick's least favorite show of mine now, but trade Jaden Ivey. He clearly, I don't think, fits well with Cade Cunningham, and I honestly think when we talk about rosters that they had, I know I kind of heard you guys' conversation, Jaden Ivey's regression was part of the reason why Cade Cunningham's roster wasn't quite as good. I'm just saying.
You are correct,
Trade
JB.
Jaden Ivey.
I am calling around to figure out if I can trade this pick. And if I need to package up someone, it's going to be Ivy. I'm sorry. It is what it is. I believe I have more faith in Cade, and that's just where my faith lies. So trading Ivy and that pick to get a superstar.
Matt, bro, 21.
So in parentheses, you done. Scorch the earth.
Scorch the earth.
Just clean house.
Yeah.
Get rid of everyone. Let's start over. Scorch the earth. Shout out to Chappelle.
Mine would be kind of biting off JB. Find trade package. I don't care. The first round pick need to be in it. Maybe Jaden Ivey needs to be in it. Like whoever I got to do, whatever I got to do to get a premier name in here with Cade Cunningham. That's what I'm doing as my first move, man. But what is the chat saying?
Shift God says bring PG-13 home.
Okay.
Fire every player, just a fan.
Fire every player.
Steve DeYoung says old Yeller treatment.
Damn.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of, fire Troy Weaver. Fire Tom Gores.
Yeah.
Fire yourself.
Right.
Gores.
Wish we could, man.
Yeah.
All right. Well, question 5. Describe your feelings on the Tigers as of right now in 3 words. Take your time. Describe your feelings on the Tigers.
You got any music to put behind here?
In 3 words. Yeah, I'm putting some more music.
Appreciate that.
I wish I had the little waiting music, but
still feeling optimistic.
Okay.
I'll say that.
I see Sam about to choose violence.
Wasting great pitching.
Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I will go with come on, do something. Do something with the stick. I'm just talking.
I like that one.
Concern level rising. Quickly. Fast.
Yeah.
It's rising high.
Yeah. Nah, mine would be losing ground quickly. They are losing a lot of ground and a lot of time, and that when pad that we thought we had is quickly evaporated. So Tigers,
they needed every ounce of that pad.
I'm trying to tell you. So in the words of JB, do something, please.
Vincent E. very, very disappointed. Gromit 500 Club. Kenneth Matthews, they're not clutch. Danny G, yes, thumbs up from Greg Elspa. Probably unrelated to this conversation.
Dante 151.
They'll be fine, says Shad. Hit the weight room, Silky Johnson said. Tigers are a mirage from Honolulu BS.
Dante said enough by his watch.
Enough by his watch. That's a shot. That's a big D.
Yeah,
that's a big D
shot at
segment.
Big D.
Not the grade of Baez's offensive skills.
All right, and JB, for this next one, did you get that graphic I sent you?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, cool. So the next question, we got 2 more left. Next question in triple threats. Ahead of the schedule release, what are the Lions' 3 most important games? Wow. And JB has flashed the opponents up there. Ahead of the new schedule release, what are the Lions' 3 most important games?
Tom Brady would say the next one.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I'm going to say beating the 49ers and beating the Packers twice again.
I'm going to go really boring. I'm going to go home games against the Bears, Packers, and Vikings. This is going to be a tougher division. You got to take care of your divisional opponents at home. No questions asked.
Ooh, I am going to go with the 49ers, the Texans, and one of the Chicago games. I just think you need to basically put your nuts on Caleb Williams' face and let him know, like, hey, you're not running anything in this division. I'm sorry. I don't care if you're the number 1 overall pick. Let him know where he stands.
There's been a lot of nuts.
Just rub him all over his face.
I'm with that one 100%.
Gross, guys. Clean it up.
I'm sorry, fast forward.
I'm going Cowboys at Dallas. Obviously, you're going at Green Bay and at Chicago. We got to take care of the Cowboys. We got to show them. We got to get revenge from last season. But in terms of the Bears and the Packers, Jared Goff isn't as good in bad weather or outside. So you got to take care of those NFC North games when you're on the road, especially when you're outdoors in Chicago and Green Bay. I was going to go the boring route of Sam and say the NFC North teams at home. You just got to take care of business at home. So they finished 3-3, and now I'm rambling. But I'm going to go Cowboys, Bears, and Packers all the way.
All right. I'm choosing revenge. So give me at 49ers, at Cowboys, and probably at home against the Packers, because that game's probably going to be for the division. So I want revenge, man. The 49ers got to pay for that BS in the NFC Championship game, which is on us, but I still want revenge. The Dallas game, the eligible bullshit, we got to right that wrong. We got to right that wrong. We in Jerry World again. It cannot happen again. And, of course, like I said, Green Bay Packers at home, Jordan Love, they are going to be our biggest competition this year in the North, I feel like. And you got to handle business at home, and most likely it'll be for the division. So
that's why I picked beat the Packers twice.
Yeah.
Beat them twice. You make sure you have whatever tiebreakers you can. I know you're going to get to the comments, but one just made me pretty funny. Terry, he is channeling his inner Aaron Glenn right now. He said, beat Seattle, please, in all caps.
Hey, we owe them one too, though. On the low, we do owe them one.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I don't nail like San Francisco, Denver Blair, Seahawks, Cowboys, 49ers. Gromit says the first 3. Just a fan, Cowboys, Bears, and Rams. Wheezy D, 313, Dallas, San Francisco, Seattle, Vincent E, Rams, Packers, 49ers. There's some good ones in here. There are a lot of good ones.
Well, this last one, you're going to have to put on your thinking caps a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know.
Give us a question. We're going to cheat a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go to break. We're going to think about our answer. So ask us, and then we'll get our ad read in.
All right. Well, with the final question in Triple Threat, when does Jared Goff's extension happen in 3 words?
Heyo.
No.
So, there it is.
We're saving that for after the break?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I wasn't lying.
Get that in the chat. But thank you guys, as always, for supporting your Woo crew and everything Woodward Sports. You guys already know, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. You got to kick off the morning with Wake Up Woodward. We got the entire starting 5. That is Flannel Sam. That is Mr. KG, Matthew Broder, JB, and your boy Kool-Aid. We appreciate you guys greatly for all the support that you've given us on this show. And after us, 11 to 1. You guys got to tap in with Big D Energy. That is 4-time Stanley Cup champion winner, guardian and defender of Detroit, Darren McCarty, alongside the Golden Voice, Neil Rule. After that, you got Armani Edwards with Mass. That is University of Legend and former NFL wide receiver Brandon Edwards, Media King in Detroit, Mr. Ryan Armani, and the radio legend that is the lovable Tom Mazaway. And after that, you guys, to end the day with the Woodward Heavyweights. You guys already know the big fellas are bringing you the biggest breakdowns, the big interviews, as well as the biggest laughs. Thank you guys, chat family, for all that you guys do. Everyone that supports us in making Woodward Sports the #1 digital network out there. We appreciate you. Thank you.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, Through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, they are taking over Michigan. Locations are actually popping up all over Michigan as well, too. They're actually doubling the number of restaurants this year. And can I add, they are delicious. We've had them at the draft party. And let me tell you right now, those chicken tenders, I wish they brought the hot Nashville pizza because that would have been fire as well, too. But they are known for their quality of hand-battered and hand-breaded chicken tenders, sandwiches, and New York-style pizza. Be sure to stop in and try one of their mega stations near you, or you can always check them out online at Sorokis.com.
Woo! What up, though, people? Welcome back to Wake Up Woodward. I need you guys to throw some fire emojis in the chat right now for Sorokis, especially that Nashville. That Nashville pizza and chicken. It's great. It's good. Broder be killing me, dog. Goodness, we need the Broder cam on like 24/7.
Just have a little box picture-in-picture. Yeah. That's what they called it back in the day, guys.
Yeah.
Oh,
back in my day.
Thank you guys for the support this morning. We are that much closer to getting to our likes goal this morning. Go ahead and smash that like button if you haven't. If you have, encourage somebody else to do the same, but we appreciate you guys for what you do. It's what drives us to get here in the morning and put on these shows. We love it every single time. But we got to get back to Triple Threat with KG. You left us with a question. You want to reset the question real quick?
I sure do. So last question in Triple Threat. In 3 words, when does Jared Goff's extension happen? Who wants to go first?
Somebody. Okay, I'll go. Post June 1st.
Okay.
Which is kind of taking the easy route because that could mean before training camp. That could mean sometime during the season. That could mean postseason. That could mean franchise tag. But I just think it's going to get done, but it's not going to be before June 1st.
I was going to say during training camp, so kind of related.
Yeah.
It's going to get done. I know there's been some talk and everything, but I think at the end of the day, it will get done before the start of the upcoming NFL season.
Cool.
So happening in June. You can say that?
Happening in June? Oh, you got a specific month.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go. Why wait?
Okay.
If you're getting it done, you know, you see how confident Jared Goff has been just kind of talking about it. You've seen how confident the organization has been. I feel like, hey, as soon as you can get it done, lock in your quarterback if that's the guy.
All right, JB.
I'm going with during preseason. I think right then and there you kind of want to see where you're at as a team and what you have in your backup quarterback and Hendon Hooker as well too. So I think that'll give you kind of a scale of like how much you're willing to spend and how much you're not willing to commit to Jared Goff.
That's a good answer. I like that one a lot, JB. I kind of got a bite off Broder. I was going to say anytime before camp. So anytime between now and camp, we will see a Jared Goff extension get done. I don't think they let it go the whole year into next year, and possibly having the franchise tag game. So they're going to get it done.
Taste.
You said what?
What?
What? You said you take a bite out of me, and I said, how'd that bite taste?
Oh, my God.
And then Shift God said, plead the fifth. Ryan R. before training camp, during training camp, Dante 151, AJM before the season. During training camp, Vincity, we got a lot of good ones. So we probably got to get to that next question.
Oh, this is the last one.
Oh, that was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then we got some great answers.
Yeah, we do.
I'm 50, confirmed. Start of preseason, Mike Reed. Preseason, Greg Allspa. Terry, after the season. Sounds like it's getting done.
Yeah.
It's going
After
down.
the season.
Yeah, after the season is crazy.
Yeah,
I don't think so. But
you putting yourself in the pickle if you let it go after
Can you
this
wait
season.
until after this season, especially with the expectations that you have for your squad?
I wouldn't think so. But
No.
I don't think that's how the Lions operate either. So we shall. I doubt it will go until after the season. But hey, hasn't been done yet. So I guess any answer is possible.
Yes, and that will be Triple Threat for today.
Great job as always, man. The segments are always fire on Wake Up Woodward.
Thank you.
And that's because we got the starting five in the building, man. Dope job. Dope job as always, KG.
Appreciate it.
But now, we ain't got no more business to handle, right?
Nope, we're all good.
All right, then we got this measure of business to handle. It's time for the most electrifying segment in sports entertainment. If you smell what JBSMOOOOOV is cooking with what's trending.
J Bizzle.
Let's rock.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What up, though?
This one, I got to direct at you, Flannel, because your GOAT. This is what your GOAT has been out here teaching this youth right now, just to flop anywhere you want.
Whoa.
Did anybody see that?
Oh, my God.
Did anybody see the foul?
Damn.
What?
That acting job is... Give him my Oscar.
Did anybody see the foul?
Give him my Oscar.
Oh.
Oh, my
like,
God.
did he hurt himself? Did we see the kid actually get back up?
That's hilarious. And he called the foul, too.
That's bullshit. That kid should be ashamed.
Oh my God.
I would boo that kid if he walked around Ford Field.
Flannel,
Hashtag
explain
boo the
this.
kid.
Explain this. Your GOAT is out here teaching kids how to flop, just all over the place. What is going on
Only
here?
player in NBA history who has ever flopped is LeBron James.
Yes.
The only one.
Vlade Divac would flop.
Oh yeah, Vlade Divac
Right.
was.
Oh yeah.
So we
Vlade.
just forgetting a man named James Harden. That's...
Oh yeah.
James, yeah.
Michael Jordan flopped too from time to time. Everybody did.
There are a lot of flops.
Not as bad as some, but
Yeah.
that's the thing.
And there was way less of it in the 90s. Let's just be real. So
I'm just saying, every superstar in the history of humankind has whined to officials, and every superstar has flopped at some point in time. That's all I'm saying.
Every
But yeah, that was
NBA
terrible.
player. I still got Tayshaun Prince seared into my head, walking up to the refs like this after every play.
Oh yeah. Oh my
It
God.
would be the one too.
Yeah, Tayshaun was a chronic one.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. There was a lot more floppers than just LeBron. But, sir, I'm gonna need you to get down.
LeBron was the worst. Though.
Yeah, LeBron was the worst. But, sir, I'm gonna need you to get down from the table. Get down from the table.
Oh, hell no. His ass should be up there anyway.
Oh!
That's what his ass get. Oh, you got the butt crack, too. Nice. Damn.
There he ran.
He ran out of
He
there.
ran away.
Sir, get down. Get down. I'm not.
Oh.
I can't lie.
That's the way he runs away after his friends give all their energy trying to get him up.
Oh my God.
Because he knows he was embarrassed. Like, come on. So I gotta ask: have you guys ever had this moment where you've actually fallen off a table at a bar like
Hell
this?
no.
You're a little too sauced up.
Hell no. I'm too fly for that one right
Never
there.
fall off a table.
Long
snap.
drinks, you know.
I never fall off a table. I'm trying to think of the most.
He was doing his best
embarrassing
LeBron James flop.
thing. Ah.
That shit. I hate to say it, man, but just one thing that's always gonna be like consummate in society is fat people falling is hilarious, bro. I'm sorry. I gotta just keep it real. I gotta keep it real, man. Y'all don't agree with me? Fat
Y'all
people
remember, I
falling is
forget
hilarious.
the other one we had, but the dude fell. I forget what happened, and he instantly went to the Family Guy, like grabbing his knee.
Oh, yeah.
It's you know what? It's never not funny.
It is. It is never not funny. And for this final one, I gotta show you this. Maybe we need to stop having concerts at the Fox Theater, or at least rap concerts at the Fox Theater.
Oh,
do you see that top of that?
Oh, that's not
What?
good.
Why is it moving?
Only in Detroit, man.
Yeah, so this was at the concert last night for Gunna, and Fuck You Mean came on, and obviously we were a little too lit for that top balcony, and
Jesus,
I would kind of be scared of that
What?
situation.
Well, first off, shout out to Gunna for beating snitching allegations and selling out arenas, but
I know.
this is this is that's scary, man. Seriously.
Flannel's
That is scary. I don't know about
shit.
that.
Flannel is killing me right now.
I watch maybe a little bit too much of this great YouTube channel called Fascinating Horrors, which chronicles some disasters, some of the worst we've ever experienced, and it always ends with multiple, tens of hundreds of people dead. And I'm just saying, that looks like it's going to get a Fascinating Horrors.
There's 1,000 ways to die, man.
Right, or that. That's another one, yeah.
That was another good one too. And before we hop into mailbag, I just got to show you this. Shout out to Dante151 because I almost forgot about this picture right here.
Bro, that was some Final Destination type
I know
stuff.
that was some Final Destination stuff, but I almost forgot about this. Our second round pick, Enos Rankshaw Jr., made a promise to his 4th grade teacher, and I'm happy to say today that it was fulfilled. He came back and spoke very highly of his 4th grade teacher.
Hey.
That's a letter that actually he wrote to the teacher, wanting his phone number and telling him how inspirational he was to him and his childhood growing up in school and everything. And this right now, the picture on the left shows them together today. And the letter's actually framed that he gave to him as well, too. So shout out to Enos Rankshaw, man.
That's so dope.
That's what's up, man.
That's so
Glad
dope.
to see it.
But that's it for what's trending, you guys. Back to you on the desk.
Great job. Great job. Man, that is so dope, man. It's like, you know, on one side, as it relates to the teacher, you never know the impacts that you're having on people's lives. So
You truly don't.
Just choose to go out there and honestly give your all to those around you, man. Work your hardest. Be kind to people. That's really cool. And then for Rakestraw to actually pay the homage, that's pretty awesome, man. To me, it's a testament to his upbringing. You always want to make sure that you go back and you say thank you to those that helped you along the way. So that's pretty awesome.
And if you're a teacher, God bless you.
Seriously.
Because
it's one of the worst lines of work.
A lot of you guys might not know this. If you watch some of the other shows, you might. That was originally what I was going to college for. And
wow.
One of my first jobs when I moved up here was being a substitute teacher, and it was the worst job of all time. The worst job of all time.
Hold on. Can you imagine Flannel as a substitute teacher?
Wow.
Oh, them kids was, I know they, oh my God.
There's got to be some way this could become a segment, man, with Professor Flannel. Goodness gracious.
I didn't actually graduate college with a degree in education.
It doesn't matter, bro. You taught kids.
I have taught the youth, but it was man, I can't even. The amount of prep that it takes is just for an entire day. Some kids don't act right. Most kids don't act right. Yeah, oh my God.
Chuck Brewer. Hold on. Did you ever get triggered at the kids?
Yes.
This is why it's funny that Flannel was a substitute teacher. Because I could just see all the scenarios with it going wrong. Okay, kids, pull out your homework. Shut up, Flannel.
No, one of my moments, and this is probably the beginning of my downfall, was when I was doing this thing they call block teaching, where you kind of shadow a teacher, you go to their class every day, and then you start to teach lessons. One day, I just got so fed up because I was not a good teacher at all. Why I even decided to do that was both my parents are teachers, so maybe that I didn't know what I was going to do, whatever.
Hold on, what age group did you have, though? It
was elementary.
Oh
wow.
So at one point, to get them to listen, and it was actually kind of funny at the time, but I know my the actual teacher of the class didn't like it. I just smacked the table as hard as I could, and everybody was just like, that was yeah.
Oh my God.
None of you are probably shocked. None of you are probably shocked by that.
Ain't none of them kids listening, and Flannel Sam is the substitute teacher, man.
That's facts. I was the worst teacher of all time. So shout out to those who actually, like Ennis Rakestraw's old teacher, shout out to those who can actually do it and do it well, because it is a hard job.
So you're not putting yourself in the Teachers Hall of Fame?
No, no, I'm putting it in the flamed out before I even started of fame.
They don't get paid enough anyway. You picked a good profession, trust me.
Yeah, they really don't.
Oh man, yo, that's great. That's great. I love learning new things about the crew. But we got to get into our mailbag segment, which is presented by Feldman Automotive Group. Guys, I hope you guys got your mailbag questions. I know we saw some earlier in the chat. I don't know if you have any of them saved, JB, but I definitely want to get into the mailbag.
I have a couple of them saved. I'll throw this one up there for you. This probably directed towards Broder. He might know a little bit more about this than we would.
Actually, don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and read it.
Oh, I was going to say,
My bad.
when will the Lions announce or issue their rookie jersey numbers? I kind of want to know this as well, too, because I need to buy some jerseys.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine it'll be soon because rookie minicamp starts Friday. So I don't know if it's before Friday or sometime before the vets show up for real. I don't know, though. I'll find out.
Yeah, I see Eduardo O'Neill in here as well. He said mailbag. Pick 4 of these for prime time and 1 for what's he saying? 1 for what?
Game of the week.
Game of the week. Yeah. LA Rams, Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears, San Francisco 49ers, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, Buffalo Bills, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Seattle Seabags.
Man, that's a lot to unpack. I would say
I want Dallas on prime time.
Honestly, for some reason, Lions-Rams seems like America's game of the week.
Yeah.
And then primetime, definitely Cowboys, definitely Packers. Am I missing one? Obvious?
Texans? Houston. Yeah, Houston is going to be.
Houston, yeah.
I'd probably say
That
yeah,
might be
yeah.
that might be a Sunday night though.
The Houston?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Houston Texans. I can see that.
Man, they might be on primetime more than anybody in the NFL. Considering all of these matchups that they have.
Or one of the prime times, is that considered a Thanksgiving game as well?
I think Thanksgiving technically counts, but not exactly. It's
I
not
don't think
supposed
it does
to count.
Yeah.
But it's it's technically a prime
Yeah,
time
so
game.
I don't need Packers in this. They'll probably wind up paying. Well, no, they played Packers last year.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that was one of the lowlights of the year. But that's all well and good because they still had a successful year.
I wonder if they're gonna give us Texans this year. I still remember the Texans game where
For Thanksgiving?
It's on the road,
Yeah.
so it won't be the Texans.
Oh, that's right. Won't be.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I do remember that Texans Thanksgiving game. Now
Oh,
that
yeah.
you brought it up.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, it was.
Was that the Jim Schwartz challenge something or whatever?
Yeah, I
and
believe so.
A clear knee was down, was an 85-yard touchdown or whatever.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. What about you though, man?
Can you throw the list back up there?
Oh,
JD?
yeah, yep. I got you.
All right, so America's game of the week, 425. They probably saving San Francisco for Monday or Sunday. Give me Indy. That could be a 4 o'clock. Buffalo could be a 4 o'clock. And maybe one of the Packers games.
Man, Lions are gonna have they got a pretty nice schedule this year.
Yeah.
Should be some exciting games all season. And as long as, in my opinion, Jared Goff continues to play as clean as he can, they don't compound the mistakes, I don't think there's much to worry about with the Detroit Lions this year.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me see here. Mailbag. Any word on re-signing McNeil or Iffy? That's from Steve DeYoung.
Well, nothing yet, but we'll know more after this season. Definitely.
Contract year bump for Liam McNeil is one of those things like we saw Jonah Jackson effectively play himself into a contract that was a little bit too rich for what the Lions wanted to do. Is Liam McNeil going to do something like that this season?
I'll tell you what, and this is just another kind of sidebar. I think Jonah Jackson's one of the most overpaid players in the entire NFL. I thought he was the clear weak link of this Lions offensive line.
Seriously.
And congratulations to him. He got his bag, but I would say, I don't know, is Aleem McNeil capable of a bump more than what he had last year? Certainly a level of one, but I don't know. He had his third year bump already. I don't know how much more he's going to prove in a contract year, but we shall see.
And you know what? Broder, I definitely need your take on this as well. Big Dan Davis, mailbag. Thoughts on the Lions kicker situation? They re-signed Badgley. They signed U of M's James Turner as a UDFA undrafted free agent. Should they still bring in Mr. Bates?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I think I'm probably the last person you want to ask. I could care less about the kicker. But if you're going to bring in one, I'd rather than bring in Jake Bates than go blue, James Turner, just because he's got a massive leg. That's the difference between him and Badgley. There's not much difference otherwise. So might as well bring a guy in who you can the weapon that he could be with these new kickoff rules, depending on who you put back returning kicks, if the other team kicks it into the end zone or I forget the exact rules, but there's a very strong likelihood that the Lions start at the 35 or the 40-yard line. We're talking about 25, 30 yards before they're in field goal range for Jake Bates.
Yeah, I would probably, if I had to choose, I'm kind of more aligned with Broder that I'm not too passionate about the kicker position, but definitely Jake Bates over James Turner. Shout out James Turner. You made some nice kicks, but he missed more than Moody did. I'll just say that.
Yeah. This one was from earlier. Chase Amley, mailbag. Inspired by KG's Ted Williams jersey, what's your favorite athlete from a non-Detroit team? Chase's is Randy Johnson.
Ooh.
That's a big southpaw.
Yeah.
6'10".
Oh, you know what? Eduardo O'Neill had one from the beginning of the show as well.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of the level of aggression that Dan Campbell is going to show this year, do you think it goes up or down? Stays the same based on how well the defense performs this season?
Wait, let's pause. Let's answer Chase Amley's first.
Okay.
Yeah. Your favorite non-Detroit athlete? Mine's Ken Griffey Jr.
Patrick Mahomes. Duh.
Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I'm a big LeBron guy, so LeBron.
Hey,
Kobe
shout
Bryant
out.
for me.
Yeah, it's
LeBron's second on mine. So
Yeah.
shout out KG.
Yes,
Sorry,
sir.
Kool-Aid. Now, what was Ed's?
Yeah, and you know what? I was really trying to think about it. That's why I just kind of blurted it out there. I was like, you know, if I blurt it out, I will remember it again when it's time to come back to it. But
I got
Eduardo
it.
O'Neal, you have the comment?
Yep, I copied it from earlier. Do you guys think?
Go.
Do you guys think a better defense will have him be more aggressive or less? Talking about
There
Dan
we go.
Campbell. This is from Ed O'Neal.
A better defense.
Yeah. Will he now be more aggressive on offense, knowing that he has a defense that can stop the other team? That he has a competent secondary? Or will he be less, knowing that they can actually stop somebody?
Well, I mean, if you have a better defense and he's already aggressive, I think he's more aggressive. That would, to me, equate in more aggression.
I think it's a little bit less because I think what Dan Campbell found out last year is in the NFC Championship game was everything could be called perfectly. They called the right play, and then it's just not executed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that the field goal would have definitely gone in. It's just those are the type of things that did play a role in the Lions not winning. So maybe he thinks about that. I would say a little less aggressive.
Less emotional decisions, let's say that, because he was really just coaching with emotion in those situations, which understandable, but it didn't work. So
Ooh, the Denver game definitely. I said that one was definitely emotion.
Mhm.
The 49ers game.
You mean the Dallas game? But
The
yeah.
Dallas. I
Yep.
said Denver. The Dallas game. The 49ers game, though, I think it's a little less emotion. They had those plays dialed up, and Jared Goff was on the money. You talk about a good streak to those playoffs, but you know, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do next year. I don't know what to expect from Dan Campbell as it relates to these fourth downs because it feels like it's just a part of what he does.
Well, and like I said before, I didn't like all of them. I had some questions in previous seasons, but I cannot deny that fourth down decisions and overall aggressiveness in general won the Lions some games.
Yeah, definitely. And the one game that continues to just live rent-free in my head is the one where Dan Campbell actually did what most people would expect him to do, and that's kick the field goal against the Seattle Seahawks. And it didn't work out for them.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't work out for them. That was a game where I was wondering, like, you know what? If he kicks a field goal here, it gives us a little bit more time, a little bit more life. It would be the sensible, what most of us would believe, decision to make, but it wound up costing them.
That was such a I remember in that game. I know
I was at that game.
I know we were way over when Alex Anzalone had that sack on Geno Smith for like -16 and it was shaking in there. It's like we're gonna win that game.
That was one of the times he wasn't aggressive enough. Like, he was kind of
100%.
second guessing himself. So
Yep. Hopefully he finds that balance, man. It's gonna be interesting. Any other mailbag questions or last words?
Well, we're already over, so I think we're good.
Let's wrap it up. Time to wrap it up.
Wrap that shit
Play
up.
it
B.
safe, right? Let's rock. Hey, what up, though?
Shout out
Got
Korean
Justin
Jesus.
Justin in the building.
AKA Juices.
You guys already know what that is. Big D Energy is on the way from 11 to 1. We need you guys to definitely tap in, continue to support the entire network. It's good for everybody here. We hope that it is good for you all as well. Let's break this thing down. Hey, I gotta go hoop with the start of 5 soon. But the vet of the squad, Mr. Flannel Sam Reynolds. Great job today, bro.
Oh, you guys as well. That was a lot of fun conversations, particularly the Jordan Love, Jared Goff one. I think we all made some really good points.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, shout out to our elite booth. We got in the sound booth Detroit's #1 draft pick, Mr. KG, Rookie of the Year.
Yes, sir. Hey, and I saw all the love from yesterday, my first time being on the desk, my desk debut for the heavyweights. I appreciate all the love, man, and hopefully y'all see more of me, so appreciate that, man.
You deserve it. You crushed. Proud of you, all of that stuff,
Thank
man.
you, bro. I appreciate that for real.
Keep crushing. Keep moving.
I learned from the best, man. I got some of the best people to learn from.
Hey, you know what? That's how it starts. That's how it starts, man. Flannel has done a lot. Broder has done a lot. I appreciate everything they've done for me being in this position, as well as you, KG, and JB. There was a lot of times you were in the sound booth when I was just starting to get my opportunities on the desk.
Yeah.
And your reassurance helped me so much, man. But to see you up there yesterday, great job.
Thank you, bro.
Good job. In the It's Tuesday.
Damn it.
It's Tuesday, and we're not up Television today. In the city booth, it's Woodward Sports' MVP, Mr. JBSMOOOOOV.
Boobs.
Oh, man. Yo, another great, amazing show from you guys once again. Like I said, you guys make it worth waking up, getting here, and actually doing the show. And shout out to KG yesterday, man. I caught a little bit of the heavyweights. I didn't catch all of it, but, man, you did an amazing job. I got to say, man, hats off, bro.
Hey, shout out Denver Blair. KG killed the desk job. KG and JB do Saturday.
Woo!
Come on.
They ain't ready for that one.
I know. That's going to be a wild show.
Yeah, man.
Hey, shout out to Matthew Boder, our credentialed Lions and Tigers beat reporter, Mr. Matthew Boder.
Thank you. Have a great Tuesday. Love you.
Let's ride. It's your boy Brandon A.K. Detroit Kool-Aid, your credentialed Detroit Pistons beat reporter. We appreciate you guys for kicking off the morning with Waco Woodward. Support the rest of the shows today. Smash that like button if you haven't on your way out, and if you haven't, encourage someone else to do the same. And share the stream, man. Post the stream. It takes a second of your time, but it helps us in a big, big way. We appreciate you guys always. It's been Waco Woodward. Have a blessed rest of your day, people.
Skirt.
Let's go.